Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee, Dateline, Pasadena, California. Proudly announcing the arrival of the newest additions to the NASA family, top officials of the U.S. Space Agency welcomed a litter of Mars rovers Thursday after successfully breeding Perseverance with Curiosity. We're happy to report that Perseverance gave birth to 12 healthy bouncing baby rovers early this morning, said Michael M. Watkins, director of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, describing the emotional moment when a dozen viable research crafts, their tiny little chassis covered in oil and titanium shavings, were expelled from the parent rover's motorized womb into the red dust of the red planet's surface. It'll be months before these little guys can open up their image sensors and begin rolling around on their own. But once they do, their mother will teach them how to collect samples and analyze soil composition. Of course, once the ultimate goal is to continue breeding them for generations to come so that we can establish a permanent colony of rovers on Mars. For now, though, these tots will be cradled in their mother's robotic arms, suckling on her power reserves until they reach maturity. At press time, the Chinese National Space Administration had demanded joint custody of the infant rovers, claiming a routine paternity test would show that its Tianwen-1 spacecraft, currently in orbit around Mars, is the true father. That's the news. Sort of. Let's start the show. Good one. All right.
Yeah. I was going for the good night, everybody, and somebody threw the robot.
That's me.
Rim shot. A robot rim shot.
I had to do the robot one. I was trying to decide which one would I rather do. Would I rather have the kid who fell off the drum set riser, or the robot?
No, it had to be the robot.
Had to be the robot.
Yeah. Well, I was going for this one.
Good night, everybody.
That's a good one too.
So
either way, it's appropriate.
I actually both of those this time. This is really weird. Either my connection, either my connection is faster, or having the other computers shut off really does help. So
no, because your audio is still chopping and your video is like 50 frames per minute.
Dan's video is just fine in the green room.
Yeah. And it was just fine.
On Thursday, Stupid O'Clock, it was fine. Everything looked great. And sounded good.
And he was fine before we went live.
Because the University of Georgia at Athens is sucking up all the bandwidth. That's
trying to watch the show.
Yeah.
Hey, Carly.
Hey, Carly.
Oh.
You know, I'm getting to where whenever I hear the national anthem anywhere else,
I
expect to hear Dan's theme immediately afterward. I'm like, where's the funkadelic, man?
When you were in the Navy, I don't know if the Navy had the same service the Army had, but AFES used to have the theaters for the movie.
Yeah.
And of course, for those of you who aren't familiar with military movie theaters, they always start off the show with the national anthem.
Yeah.
Everybody in the movie theater stands
Hands up.
hand over heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they would play the Atheist movie theme, which was like a movie matinee thing. And for a long time, every time I heard the national anthem played at like a parade or something like that, I'd kind of halfway expect to hear the Atheist thing.
I mean, what was it? I think it was Jeff Foxworthy when he was doing the "You Might Be a Redneck." If you think that the final words, the last line of the national anthem is "Gentlemen, start your engines."
Yeah. First movie I ever watched in a military theater was Animal House. And it was in its original run. And that, I guess, no, that was Chicago, well, Great Lakes.
Well, okay. I think you told a lie. Okay. The first movie you ever saw in a military movie theater was probably a training film.
I'm talking about the theater,
not
not
a movie, not a training film.
They used to take us to the theater for certain training.
Oh, really? No, we had, down in Orlando, where I booted, we had really nice college type classrooms. We had theater classrooms.
Fort Benning had the old, the white buildings left over from World War I. And they had a couple of theaters that were large buildings, classroom type things, hold about 200 people or so. But if they wanted to do a battalion thing, you either went to the gymnasiums or the movie theater. Movie theater would hold about 500.
In Orlando, the Orlando boot camp for Navy used to be an Air Force base. So they had obviously the best of everything, including an awesome golf course. So,
the military does have some nice golf courses, don't they?
They really do.
Somehow I picture back around World War II, like some colonel working for a bunch of generals had like 1,000 privates out there with e-tools landscaping a damn golf course.
That would have been funny.
What are we doing here again? The 18th hole. Okay, that's John. What was the movie with John Lennon? The war movie.
John Lennon?
John Lennon was in a war movie.
I would say that was an anti-war movie.
It was kind of
Pussycat?
Oh, no. Took place in the desert. It's a British comedy. And strangely enough, he was the best soldier in the unit, but he never said the whole movie never said a word. Like a mime. Basically, John Lennon mimed the entire movie.
Okay, you got to remember the name of it because now I got to watch that one too.
It was in the vein of MASH. Okay, that ought to give you. Hang on a minute.
It sure was IMDb Catch-22.
No, it wasn't. But it was about that same time frame, actually.
Now the thing is Skunk playing that video game. Now that's when it would be. That's when it would be awesome.
I'm not. No, that is
that man over there is playing Galaga. He thinks he's got us fooled.
I've got Galaga on my wife's Pac-Man machine upstairs.
No, that's these are. I just put up I made a playlist of some tool-assisted speed runs and just had it running in the background because I thought that would be cool.
So you can actually add games to those, Lewis, or did you have to sort of hack it?
No. It was already on there. It's got a bunch of different Pac-Man games and Galaga.
Okay.
Yep. The a lot of those multicades are set up that way.
Yeah.
Our friend Fielding Clark, Dr. Fielding Good, the host of the Scenic City Folks Bugapalooza car show that we usually have an Easter egg every year. I don't know what's happening this year with COVID and everything, but anyway, in his, I don't know where he has it now because I haven't been to his new house, but he used to have it in his den, little offshoot to the side of the house den that he had. and he had a multi-cade. Just about every game that was in a vertical screen, where the screen went like this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your Pac-Mans, your Galagas, all of that.
Yeah.
He had all of them. And you just sit there and play it. It was
Lewis, the John Lennon movie was called How I Won the War.
How I Won the War.
I do remember hearing about that one now. I wouldn't have if you hadn't
I
come
think
up
it won
with the title.
awards. So that's-
Yeah. Well, we got a little housekeeping to do.
I didn't do it.
no. I did dishes last time. It's Skunk's turn.
Yeah.
I ain't
Well,
cleaning up after your dog.
yeah. Well, we got to talk about the Rising Tide Broadcast Network.
Oh,
Pretty.
who made the pretty thing here? This is very, very high quality, and it's I didn't make it.
It was made by L2 Images. And I
No,
know
that's really the company name.
Louis, did you just get? No, I'm laughing because it's you. Did you just get sick of the way the old one looked? It was like, I'll fix this.
Actually, yeah, I did. I cringed every time it went up on the screen because I'm like, oh my God, nothing's centered, nothing's flush left. There's no rhyme or reason. So,
Hey, Lewis.
I said, instead of bitching about
I
it,
see
do
one
something about it.
failure.
Huh?
I see one failure.
Oh, come on.
No. And you're gonna kick yourself. You're gonna kick yourself when I tell you this.
What?
You didn't give yourself credit on it. There's nothing about L2 imaging.
I wasn't doing it for credit. I was doing it for.
I mean,
for
every
Joe.
artist should sign their work. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well,
let
should be my signature.
me throw,
Okay, I can live with that.
yeah, let me throw this out here. Read it right across the top. Stupid O'Clock and Armchair Rocket Science are proud members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. The rising tide rises all ships. Raises all ships. Sundays is Comics, Chaos, and Sass with Heather Ellen. Monday is Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. Tuesdays is Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m. and TED Talks at 8 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. That's what I said, wasn't it?
No,
No,
it's 8.
8 and 8. It's
Oh, 8 and 10. Okay. Wednesday, Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. Thursday is TED Talks at 11 a.m. 7 p.m. is Comic Book Spectrum. 8 p.m. is Clever as Hell.
Creative as hell.
Creative as hell.
God, you really have a problem with that, Joe.
Yeah, I do. And then some stupid show comes on at 9 p.m. Friday, again, Nevermind the Furthermore. And
You got a Thursday night show. Comic book Spectrum.
I threw them in at the first at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And then Friday is Nevermind the Furthermore again at 10 a.m. Then Michaela J's Tidbits and Scribbles at 7 p.m. on our YouTube channel. And at 8 p.m., since Nick isn't here, we'll go ahead and throw out the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. on his YouTube page. Oops. We'll fix that. We'll fix that in post. And at Saturday at 11 p.m. is Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m.
Which you're watching right now, so you know that.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Can
you're
you
not.
throw that back up, Joe? Throw that back up.
Throw it back up. Okay.
Throw it back up because I do want to comment on two things.
Yeah.
And Lewis, not try to be mean. I just want to point this out.
Oh yeah.
If you look at Tuesday and Thursday, right?
Uh-huh.
So on Tuesday you have 8 p.m. and then 10 a.m. Shouldn't that be 10 a.m. and then 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on Thursday
And
11,
Comic Book Spectrum should be in front of Creative as Hale, but
yeah.
you know, I fixed one of those, and the problem is all those little freaking icons are each individual layers in Photoshop.
Mm.
and they are not in any particular order. Because I would clone, I would take one and drag it down to new layer, and it would just populate itself wherever the hell it wanted to. So just to find the exact icons that go with a certain show, screw it. It was a free work. It was a freebie.
It's a freebie that looks absolutely amazing.
It's very pretty.
Looks good.
Now, if there's something on there that's wrong, like TED Talks, is it really 11 a.m. on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because usually the ones that appear on multiple days are at the same time, except ours. But
yeah, I don't know why. I think it's a similar reason to why we're on at 11 on Saturdays. I think.
Oh, so at 11 a.m. they can talk dirty.
I think there's something at no. We were on 11 because somebody else has a show.
Oh,
yeah.
And they're not associated with Rising Tide Network, but it's still Joe Doc didn't want to step on this person's toes because they're friends.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I believe there's something going on Thursday at 10 a.m.
So that's why I miss church every Sunday by staying up this late.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the only reason.
But Carl Whitzman says, "Wow, that looks much better than my old schedule." And then,
I'm sorry. Did Carl create that one?
yeah,
I'm terribly sorry, Carl. I thought Joe Dog did. I was dogging Joe on that.
Same.
And Carly says it looks great.
I thought Joe made the old one because he was the one that kept saying clever.
It seemed like Joe's speed. Yeah. and I feel like I can joke with Joe.
You keep digging
Carl, I don't know well enough.
I was gonna say you could probably joke with Carl. He's got a pretty good sense of humor, but
well, he would have to.
Like you said, you don't really know him, so you wouldn't know that.
That's why you got to pop in the green room every once in a while so you can get to know.
I keep meaning to join in on that, and I keep missing it. So I need to set up a reminder of some sort.
Okay, Lewis, have you seen WandaVision yet?
Yeah, I've seen every episode. I'm caught up.
Did you catch the mid credit scene?
You're gonna have to. I watch it all the way through because I know Marvel loves to put crap after the credits. So
yeah,
I always watch it all the way through. Which scene are you talking about?
The evil director's plan to really take over the Hex. The dude all in white.
Oh yeah.
I don't see how they're going to wrap that one up in one episode.
Maybe.
Well,
the first couple of episodes, I was like, "Where is this going?" But it got definitely interesting.
Yeah.
And I really don't know anything about either of those characters, Wanda Maximoff or Vision. I'm going to have to go back and watch Age of Ultron now because I think that's where they were.
That's where they got their start. Yeah.
They were first featured.
Mm-hmm. And there's a
but it was fun
around about them being married.
Yeah.
So,
it was fun though in the early stages trying to identify which sitcom house they were living in.
Yeah.
I think the first one was Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second one was I Love Lucy. Can't remember what the third black and white one was, but I think the first color one was Bewitched, and then Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
It was Brady. Yeah, it was Bewitched.
I think they had
Brady Bunch was the first color one. Huh?
I think they had to Leave It to Beaver also.
Yeah,
That one would have been one of the black and whites.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the episode before last was done like Modern Family.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're actually using the same locations, because a lot of those movie farms keep that stuff for a while.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all shot in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, it's shot in Atlanta.
Did you see the
Looks like
picture I
probably
posted with the
recreating
Humvee
Yeah, with the
with
mud.
the Georgia clay on it? I said, supposed to be New Jersey, huh? Ain't got none of that clay in Jersey.
No, they don't.
Dead giveaway.
And see, I
And then
live
a friend of mine tried to challenge me on it. Or it could have been Alabama. I said, and he says, could have been Alabama. And then he showed a still frame from My Cousin Vinny. And the car had clay on the tire.
Yeah.
And I said, nope, sorry. My Cousin Vinny was entirely shot in Georgia.
Wasn't My Cousin Vinny one of the first big movies that started Georgia on the roll?
I would be a bit surprised.
I don't know. It was probably definitely in the early stages.
We got
Did you
clay
know?
down here? We got the red clay and we got the white clay.
Now, did you know there's a Pinewood Studios Atlanta now?
No, really?
I heard something about that. I didn't know it
Yeah.
was actually up and running. But
Huh.
What's really strange is the trailer park I used to live in was Pinewood Estates.
Well, there's enough pines down there. I mean,
Yeah, really.
I think there's a Pine something trailer park all over the country.
Hmm.
There's 3 Pine something trailer parks in Chattanooga. Whispering Pines, Pine Grove, and oh hell, what's that one out right by the airport?
Loud as hell pines.
Well, they had the Whispering Pines. That would be the Screaming Pines.
Yeah.
mm,
Oh, around here, Whispering Pines is a golf course.
And I'll tell you straight up, by the way, being somebody, our warehouse is right next to the airport, right? When those planes, when they first start the jet engines, it sounds like they're right on top of you. They're not, but it sounds like it.
You can hear them.
You get used to it after a minute. Oh man, when they first start out, it's like, whoa, what is going on? Oh, there's a plane over at the airport about to take off.
I remember when the Blue Angels came into town one time for one of the air shows. We had a little dump site where we dumped our construction field just off Airport Road, on Shallowford Road, right there at Shallowford and Airport Road by Vulcan Materials. I'm not going to say how wet everything got, but I had made my dump and I was doing something else as they flew over the first time. I had to use my window washer because it literally. And then as I was leaving, one of them passed over, did that upside down passover. I'm not going to say how close he was, but he had blue eyes.
biggest jolt I ever got at an air show was here, late 90s, I guess it was. And I had just gotten there. I was in the parking lot, was headed through the gate, and I saw a shadow. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see this black aircraft, pretty low, but I didn't hear anything. And then when he got about right there, whoa! It was a stealth fighter.
Oh yeah,
Not the bomber.
yeah,
Stealth
the fighter.
First time I had ever
117.
seen one live. Oh my God. It was so fast. It was so fast that it was past me before I heard it.
And it wasn't that loud.
And it was going supersonic.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a supersonic craft. They're just that quiet.
No. The stealth fighters are supersonic. Well, were the 117As. I don't think they use them anymore.
Yeah. Wobbling goblins. Now, one of my favorite things at the air show never flew.
What?
The truck.
The truck.
The Peterbilt.
Oh, the jet-powered Peterbilt.
Yeah.
I'd say it would be flying.
It was flying low.
Flying really low, but
Yeah.
You see that funny
They
car?
actually would do an airplane race with the truck. Truck would be sitting still and the plane would fly over. The truck would pass the plane.
Yeah.
They did that with an A-10. And the A-10 pilot was told, let him pass you.
And then hit him with the 30 Mike cannon.
The A-10 really held before he broke off. And I asked him about it, and I said, what happened with that A-10? Because I saw the video or whatever. He goes, put it to you this way, he was pissed. He didn't want to break off, but he actually passed him. It only runs 376 miles an hour, Jan.
One year when the Blue Angels were here, a fleet pilot came in with an F-14.
Yeah.
It was just a fleet bird. Had, it was the battleship gray.
Yeah.
Had the squadron markings on it and everything. That guy made the Blue Angels look a little less impressive. I mean, the shit he did with that F-14,
Oh,
I
yeah.
could not believe, man. And this is just a fleet pilot. He's not a specially trained performer. He's out there on the line.
He was a Top Gun.
Yeah.
He had to be Top Gun.
Yeah.
or just a natural born show off.
One of my favorite.
Well, that's any jet jock.
Oh,
that reminded me of one of my favorite little pieces of trivia about Top Gun specifically.
yeah.
Was at the very beginning of the movie when they're first doing the maneuvers and they're showing off, right?
Yeah.
And the craft that I'm guessing, if I remember correctly, is Tom Cruise's character is in the very beginning, and they go canopy to canopy, and he's flipping them off, and they're taking pictures and stuff. That's impossible, because not because for the reason that most people think. Most people's like, oh, it's impossible because you couldn't get that kind of airplane upside down like that over another airplane. You wouldn't be able to hold it. They'd crash into each other. Now, if it were possible,
Angels do it all the time.
If it were possible to do, yeah, you could totally do that. That's turning an airplane upside down and flying it upside down is people do it all the time. The problem is that if you take those types of planes and attempt to have them canopy to canopy like that, the rear rear wings, the tail wings,
stabilizers,
they crash into each other.
Yeah,
it literally is just like, oh no, you just can't occupy the same space something else is already occupying.
The plane that was representing the MiG, had a single tail. F-14 has two tails, so it could, in theory, do that. And it's a bigger plane. F-14 is a lot bigger than those F-5s they were using to simulate the MiG.
An F-5 is an armed T-38.
Actually, it was an L-39.
So I don't know. I don't know.
An L-39.
I don't know.
Standing in for the MiG.
What was it? I thought it was a T-38 or a dress T-38 or T-5.
No, it was a Czechoslovakian fighter trainer.
Huh.
I flew one.
Cool.
I was back seat. It was a media ride, and I had been working on my pilot's license, and the pilot was aware of that. And while we were up, he said, "Take the stick." He says, "I'll handle the rudder. You take the stick." So I actually flew a fighter jet for about 5 minutes. He let me do an aileron roll and everything. But like I said, he was on the rudder, and with an aileron roll, that's the hard part, is to keep from slip sliding. So, but that was really cool.
Well, I guarantee you, his hand wasn't that far away from the stick at the time.
Oh hell no! And we were at about 20,000 feet.
Yeah,
over Tullahoma. We were in good shape. He had plenty of time to recover if I fucked up.
So, do you want to know something that's really, really interesting? So, Codemasters, which was they were a video game company that was part of Galoob, right? And Mattel. I think that was a subsidiary of Mattel at the time. They created a video game for the Nintendo Entertainment System called MiG-29 Soviet Fighter, right? And it was a game where you were a Russian Air Force pilot in a MiG-29, right? Fighting for communism, I guess, right? And Nintendo wouldn't let them publish it because obviously, right? Like you can't release a video game in the United States where you play as the United States chief enemy at this time period. There's no way. You're not allowed to do this, right? So they made a bootleg version of the game and sold it in stores under a different brand. It was an unlicensed Nintendo game, and they got in trouble for that one. But I remember seeing when you go to like used game stores and stuff, seeing copies of MiG-29 and being all like, "How the hell did they release that? Like, who let them do this?"
Was that the original NES?
Original NES, yeah.
We had a game for the Commodore called Strike Aces. And the idea was you're flying different attack aircraft in the Curtis LeMay bombing competition. Mm-hmm. And one of the planes that you could fly was a MiG-27, MiG-24, MiG-27, I can't remember which one. It was their attack plane at the time. And you had you were supposed to be using the Soviet ordnance. That was a pretty cool game. I liked flying the MiG. It had rocket pods.
Well, I tell you, this is going to sound so weird to certain people, and I promise you when I say this that I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm really not, but I do have to be honest. We had Aces Over the Pacific for my PC.
Yeah, good game.
I loved nothing more than playing as the Japanese because those Zeros were so much fun to fly compared to all of the American aircraft.
They could have been ours.
They were so much faster, The
Zeros were manufactured by Mitsubishi, and it was a design that a certain American wanted to sell to America, but America said, "No, we got something better." Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes actually designed the Zero.
What do you call it? The A6 or something like that? Was his?
I don't remember what he called it, but
they were so much. The Zeros were so much fun to fly because they were. But that was the thing: is that game? Part of it was historical accuracy. Part of it wasn't, because the whole entire thing was just like, yes, it's much faster. It's much more maneuverable. You fly it like nobody's business. If you take any damage, you're done. Like they acted like these planes were made out of tinfoil, and that the American planes, if you were if you were in something like what is it, a P-38 Mustang, I think it is. Mm-hmm. If you're in one of those, like you can get shot a few times and keep flying around like it's nothing.
P-38 Lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, which one was the Mustang?
P-51.
P-51, yeah.
P-51. You're in a P-51 Mustang, you could get shot a couple of times, and they were just like, whatever. If you're in the Zero, you get shot once. It's just like every single thing just went off. Like you're going down. You know, they had no armor on them whatsoever.
And they did not have self-stealing fuel.
It's a video game,
really
so
cool.
I don't think that was historically accurate. But still, it was a really cool game.
And John Pike in there said he almost had a stupid o'clock moment on his show this morning.
I was here. I couldn't have gone to sleep.
He said he had to put the kibosh on the guest who turned out to be a Comics Gate guy.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm not sure what Comics Gate is. Sounds like something in the toxic fandom area.
Yeah, it's like Gamergate, but for comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
Tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, John says it was the P-51.
P-51.
Yeah. And John is telling Willow that he's doing okay because she asked, "How are you doing tonight?" Yeah, John, I'm sorry you have to deal with that, but it's what is wrong with people? Can we not just
Don't say it.
Yeah, just
don't say it. You want to say it. I know you want to say it. Don't say it.
Yeah. And my opinion for
it didn't work for the other guy either.
Hey, and my opinion for people that want to come onto these shows and do that.
There you go.
Yeah, if that's your point of view, then you're better off making your own show.
I do have to say, by the way, if we're going to be talking about aircraft, and specifically war aircraft, and from like the like World War II and stuff like that, Spitfire is the coolest looking one. The British Spitfire.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
With the Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, yeah, those are fantastic.
I think it's awesome.
And I'm sorry,
I think a Mustang can probably keep up with it in maneuverability, but I don't know about horsepower.
I was watching the video the other day, and it was showing the British military aircraft, and some of those birds look like something from dystopian fantasy.
Not bad.
I guess it's the Tornado Fighter, and then they've got it's not a flying wing, but it's like a flying wing. I think it's got
the Vulcan.
Yeah, the Vulcan.
Vulcan.
That sucker is huge.
Well, it's one of their V bombers. That thing was designed to carry nuclear weapons.
Yeah, and then they've got another one that's it's a bomber, but it's the engines are built into the wing. They're not on pods. The what?
The Canberra. I think it's an Avro Vulcan.
Yeah, Avro built some really unusual planes, and they really performed.
Now the Vulcan has engines in the wing, the flying wing thing. Oh, y'all gonna make?
Yeah, I wish somebody would vet me because I want a C8 so bad I can't stand
What
it.
did I say on Never Mind the Furthermore that one time? I said, Brian, you can vet me, but I'm you can vet me, but I'm more of a Camaro guy.
Yeah. Looks like Lewis is chasing breaking news.
Yeah.
No.
You're not?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I was going to say, Saudi Arabia just shot down a bunch of missiles that Iran fired at them. So that just came out.
Well, they better make use of those American weapons while they can, because they're not getting any more for a while.
Wait. Hold up. So, $1 million question I'm now having. You said Iran shot missiles at Saudi Arabia.
Correct. It's not the first time.
Huh. I didn't
You don't
even.
remember?
I don't remember.
Oh, they fired a bunch after we assassinated that one general of theirs. They
Yeah.
fired a bunch of missiles at one of the bases there in Saudi Arabia and injured a bunch of American service members. About a year ago.
Oh, okay. So they're Iran's firing missiles at us in Saudi Arabia, or they're firing
Yes.
missiles at Saudi Arabia?
Both, technically.
Okay, I got you now. I understand what's going on now. Continue.
That's an Avro in your background there, isn't it, John?
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah,
That's the Avro Vulcan.
yeah, that's
Oh, wait, move my head.
it looks like a flying wing, but not really. I mean,
And then-
it's all wing.
And then the
Yeah.
engines, it's got 4 engines and 2 in each wing.
Yeah.
Now there's one that's got an engine in each wing, but it's a smaller bomber.
See, that's what every paper airplane looks like.
Yeah. And that bomber, it looks like something from
They used it in the James Bond movie.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Avro made some really wonderful designs.
Trying to find that other thing that Joe was talking about.
Joe disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No, he's got his
I'm
audio
still
on.
here. I'm still here.
List of British of the list of aircraft of the Royal Air Force.
There you go.
It's got a fuselage, but the engines are in the wings, not slung under.
Let's see.
It's me.
Hey, I'm not an expert at this. I just know the ones I like.
Exactly.
Oh, let's see. Got to make a run to the rest. Right.
Let's see. Now, Joe, is it a big plane or like a
Mid-size.
That could literally describe a lot of shows.
it does sound like the Canberra. Oh wait. The English Electric Canberra. I believe I found a plane you were speaking of. Found a good picture of it here. I'll just use that one. Put it there. And then go there. Punch that button. Punch that button. Get rid of that. Add. See where she go. Add that. Change the picture down a bit. And
Yep, that's it. That's it.
bing.
That and
Okay.
that sort of looks like a bomber that they would.
Canberra had some cool designs back in the. I mean, no offense, but if I were a James Bond villain back in the '60s, these are the people I would have had design my super weapons. Okay.
Yeah. Now, what I'm trying to say is, if they were talking about fighter jets of the future in the 50s,
Yeah.
that would be one.
That was what, if you went to Disney World, World of Tomorrow, back in the '60s, this is what you expected to see.
Yeah. And the Vulcan bomber's the same way. I've had a few, John, but they weren't good enough to flirt with, so I just blocked them.
Oh, Joe, you flirt with the Russian bots?
Sometimes.
Poor, sad robosexual man.
I'll really flirt with the scammers that actually sneak through.
Oh, well, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not. All YouTube videos have auto-generated. They've come on for me for never mind the furthermore a few times, and I've had to turn them off.
But yeah, I mean, I like the ones that get through on Facebook and send me the message, pretending to be a old friend.
I never gotten any of those.
Oh, those are fun.
But I did,
especially when they
one guy that was acting like a girl. He asked me, "Where do you work?" I said, "Oh, I'm a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation Cybercrimes Division." They quit talking after that.
I wonder why.
You know, it's kind of funny. Back in the day, most of our internet that went overseas went to Atlanta. And there was a James Bond movie, GoldenEye, where the cyber criminal was being tracked by the FBI. And it turned out their office in the movie was in Atlanta. So now a bunch of the hackers worldwide think that the FBI Cybercrimes Division is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, Bill Sarton says the auto-generated closed captions that he was talking about in the groom earlier tonight has found its way to Stupid O'Clock. Yeah. Well, let's see if it has. Jibbity boo boppity Let me know what that says, Bill.
It's going to translate into Polish.
You just insulted the entire nation of Czechoslovakia. Yes. They're declaring war on the United States for it.
And Bill said, John Pica says he went and saw Tom and Jerry. Animation is amazing. Movie is just okay at best. Okay.
Yeah, we kind of figured that when it was announced.
Oh, he says he's watching on a 40-inch Vizio smart TV, so the closed captions don't cover the comments.
I think me and him have the same TVs.
Probably.
I think it's a artifact of the TV. It's not us.
It's one of those TVs that wants to sell you a bunch of different programming channels.
Are you talking about the closed captioning?
Yeah.
The auto captions from YouTube?
Bill is watching from
I'm asking
Facebook.
you what you're talking about.
Oh, hang on a minute. That missile attack in Saudi Arabia did not come out of Iran. They're blaming it on Yemen's Houthi rebels. And
well, congratulations, John. Your mistake caused an international incident.
Possibly. Yeah. But guess where the Houthi rebels are getting their missiles?
Iran.
Ah.
Joyzy.
So all you have to do.
So technically, they did shoot down Iranian missiles.
Yeah, they're getting. Yeah, no. Tony Soprano is selling missiles to the Yemen rebels now. Well, who am I kidding? We all know Tony Soprano's dead. Spoiler alert for a show that ended 10 years ago. 10 plus years ago.
They didn't actually show it. They just showed the guy that might have been the guy that was going to kill him. So.
Yeah, but you remember what they said about when Tony asked that one guy, "What happens when you die?" And it nothing. It just goes black, right?
And the end of the show, it went black.
That's literally the end of the show. The guy that we know is a hired assassin because we've seen him kill earlier in the other seasons walks up to Tony, and then all of a sudden it just cuts to black. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put two and two together to realize. But now they could retcon that if they bring the show back for another season where he takes the gun away from him, starts beating him down right then and there. It'd be great.
The guy walks up. Tony and him look at each other. Okay, screen went black. Who does it go black for? Tony or the assassin?
That's a good way to retcon. Now, when Skunk said that, the first thing through my mind was a variation of Timothy Leary's Dead, substituting Tony Soprano.
Well, I'm going to throw out.
I missed something. What did I miss?
John,
Oh,
Yes.
I owe you an apology, sir.
How's that?
You were correct.
It was the F5. I
It
thought
was an F5. The MiG, okay, in the movie, and here's the F5, and here's the L-39 Albatross.
Yeah.
The Albatross is a shorter jet, and it's a two-seater.
Does it have two engines?
All right, back.
Yeah, it's a twin engine.
Yeah, you can see the intake on the side there.
But
That don't mean anything.
they did definitely make some modifications to the vertical stabilizer and the engine cowling up front here, the intake.
Yeah.
So they did make some modifications to the F5 to make it look different.
Do you remember the F-20 Tiger Shark scandal?
I vaguely do,
No.
but you're going to have to remind me.
Okay. We were selling F-16s to everybody like we were Kmart. Okay. And that's a General Dynamics. And then Northrop, back in the day, they make that plane. The excuse me.
The F5.
F5. Well, they came up with a modern version of it. It was a single engine plane. It used basically the same type of engine that was in the F-16. But it was basically a modified F5 fuselage. They had modified it with 220, and they designed it as a cheaper alternative to the F-16. But because it was a slightly newer plane and they used lessons learned from the F-16, it actually had better electronics. It could, in certain situations, outfly an F-16 for about half the cost.
Wow.
And the problem is Congress kept shutting it down, wouldn't let them export it because they kept going with the general. They already had the contract with General Dynamics and didn't want two competing contracts for the U.S. government. And basically, I think General Dynamics just had a bunch of better lobbyists, is what it was, and killed the whole. And it would have just revolutionized aviation for Northrop.
and well, they're trying to kill the A-10 left and right.
They don't have a big enough gun. The A-10, they're actually working right now on a drone variant of the A-10.
Whoa.
And the idea is that if you get rid of the pilot and all that sort of stuff like that, you can have more weapons, more fuel, more flight time, more hang time. And they're working on a system where the guy on the ground can actually talk to the drone, see what the drone sees, and tell it what to shoot. So the drone can say, "Hey, I've got a target. Do you want to look at it?" The guy goes, "Yeah, I want to look at it." Says, "Ooh, that's a tank. Kill it." Drone says, "No problem." And it's gonna. Yeah.
Well, you see, and the reason that the pilot takes up so much room in the A-10, they have to have these extra large, extra deep seats because the pilots have balls the size of watermelons.
Yeah,
It's hard to fly with a cantaloupe between your legs.
That's exactly right.
they're a cantaloupe.
But they're worth every square inch.
You know, that thing, they put a titanium bathtub around the cockpit to protect the pilot. It's like an inch thick titanium plate with Kevlar backing, and just that it can almost take a hit from its own main weapon.
Wow.
Almost.
Mike.
I need that for Atlanta traffic.
But
do you remember the one where the guy flew one in during one of the Iraq wars, and he radios in, "I've been hit. One of the engines was missing and half the wing was gone."
Still flying, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Flew it home. And they're actually designed with the wheels all the way up, enough of the wheels poked down that they can belly land and not drag the ground because the wheels will still roll.
The wheel wells are down far enough where it'll keep the fuselage and the wings off the ground.
And it was designed that way.
C-47s were pretty good at still flying after they were shot up too. World War II C-47s.
Oh,
Yep.
I know
DC-3.
exactly what you're talking about.
The
Well,
DC-3.
DC-3 in the civilian world.
There's one that got credit in World War II with downing a Japanese Zero. It did not have any weapons. The Zero came in and he shot this DC or C-47. He shot it up so much he ran out of ammo. So he eventually tried to ram the back end of the plane and basically slice the fuselage open with the propeller. Okay. Well, when he did this, the propeller got hung in some of the structural members inside the fuselage, and it flipped the plane over, tore one of the wings off the Zero, and the Zero pilot killed. Well, this C-47 comes back. It's missing a huge section of the fuselage right behind the tank.
Telling me that thing, by the way. I appreciate that.
A what?
Oh no, Willow's leaving.
Oh,
I was saying good night to Willow.
Good night, Willow.
And Willow also said this before she left, that it was saying that I didn't know that James Gandolfini was dead.
Yeah, Gandolfini's dead.
But finding out,
died of a heart attack. What, 5 years ago?
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
Finding that out, though, actually presented me with another piece of trivia that well, not trivia, but something that I thought about that I wanted to bring up. But I wanted to let you continue doing your thing first, John. I just want to say good night to Willow.
Good night, Willow.
Okay, so finish with the C-47 story.
Oh, they made it back, and they took part from another C-47, repaired that C-47, and put a little Japanese flag on the side on the pilot's side of the.
So we were talking about at the very, very early beginning of the show. We were talking about submarine movies again because we talked about them on Thursday, and I realized I've just because of James Gandolfini, I've realized there's a submarine movie we haven't mentioned yet, which makes me wonder. Since none of us mentioned it, what do people think about Crimson Tide?
Was he in that?
He was.
I do not remember him being in it, but
Crimson Tide was an excellent movie.
All right.
yeah,
No, it was. I mean, yeah, it's. I hate Alabama, so the name is repugnant. But
that's not what they mean when they say Crimson Tide. Okay.
Actually,
the submarine was called the USS Alabama.
Yeah,
that's how it got the name.
And the skipper was a big Alabama fan.
Is that really? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the USS Alabama.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought they literally meant.
Oh, Gene Hackman. Oh my God, he played that character to a T, man. I mean, and then Denzel Washington. How cool, man! How cool.
So I thought they meant like literally like Crimson Tide, like it's a tide of crimson.
Red Tide. Yeah.
No.
Like we're gonna, it's there's
that's the analogy.
Gonna bloody the waters now.
Make the sea run around with blood. Yes.
Yeah. Because he had these two guys going at it, Well,
it was all about a power struggle and between the skipper and the XO, and it was very similar to what was going on in Red October on the Russian ship at the crucial point in the movie. So,
but I had no idea that's why literally the film is named after Alabama.
Yeah,
it's in the University of Alabama being called Crimson Tide. I did not know that. That's neat. That's neat to find that out.
Learn something every day.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
I need to see Crimson Tide, man, because it's a movie I've never.
Yes, you do.
It's a good movie.
It's a movie I've never actually seen, but I've heard not great things from a lot of people, and so that's why I was like,
An unsettling movie.
What? Okay. What movie are we talking about?
Crimson Tide.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Gene Hackman, Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah.
Power struggle between the skipper and the XO.
I've often wondered what people think the comparison between Run Silent, Run Deep, the book, and the movie.
we made that joke on the last stupid
Yeah, we even sang a few bars.
Well, I've got a spoiler alert for everybody.
What?
They shoot the dog because he had rabies in Old Yeller.
Oh wow, they've only had 58
You're
years
only
to
about
watch that
50 years
movie.
too late. Yeah. And everybody still cries.
And Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. All right.
Oh, now that's a little newer now.
That puts a different spin on Fifth Element.
Aladdin wasn't really a
The
friend.
Sixth Sense. It was one of those number movies, Dan.
His wife's head was in the box.
Whose?
And there were blanks in that gun. Speaking of Animal House.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Crash.
No prisoners.
No, I was talking about 7.
No, I thought Lewis was talking about Crash because there's that scene where the kid goes running up to try to save the dude's life. She's all like, I've got the magic blanket. It's bulletproof. It'll help protect me. And they're just all like, no. And everybody's freaking out because it looks like this kid's about to get shot. And then the woman pulls the trigger, right? And it goes bang, 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 bang. And everyone then's shocked and looking because the child is 100% all right. And then it cuts to the flashback of the scene earlier where she's trying to buy bullets. And the guy she said, just give me those right there. And the guy who's running the ammo store goes, those right there? Are you sure you want those right there? She's like, whatever, bullets are bullets. He goes, okay, and hands her and the side of the box blanks.
No, in Animal House, when they put the horse in the dean's office,
Yeah,
and then they send Flounder in with the 45, a beautiful 1911, by the way.
I don't see it. Yeah,
I thought you said there were blanks in that gun. There were blanks in that gun. Horse died of a heart attack. Oh man, that's
My
one
favorite
movie I can
scene-
watch. Oh,
My favorite scene is while they're talking about it and the dead horses in the background
yeah.
in the dean's office. You see the maintenance guys in there, and he like pulls up.
Oh
the
yeah,
tape
yeah. When the dean is talking to the
and
mayor,
measures the door, and he's sitting there trying to figure out how he's going to. He comes back in with the chainsaw. Ring, 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 ring.
That movie was almost filmed at University of Georgia, but we lost out to another university up north somewhere.
well, I have
that's one in Oregon. How do you lose to Oregon?
I think Oregon's
Because we were
cheaper.
too much of a party school.
Oh, was y'all's school the ones that went and beat up the entire cast of the movie?
No,
That was the thing. That's a
Yeah.
story that supposedly happened. I don't know. I have 2 scenes from that movie that are equally tied as favorites. The first one is when I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Niedermeyer. Is that his name? Niedermeyer?
Niedermeyer.
Niedermeyer.
Okay. He comes in, he puts his arm up around Flounder, and he's like, hey, just want to let you know that you're doing a great job. And we've decided that we're going to give you a promotion within the house and make you the head of the social club. Founder's like, wow, what does that mean?
No.
You gotta drive us to the liquor store.
No, that wasn't Niedermeyer.
Niedermeyer was the
Niedermeyer was the
military
bad
guy.
guy.
yeah.
Oh, who was it?
He was at
who
Omega
the
House.
guy- Who was the guy that said that line though? He's a famous actor. I can't remember his damn name right now. Saved my life. He's the one who puts his arm around Flounder, tells him all that stuff, and then when he's like, well, what does that mean? You have to drive us to the liquor store.
Yeah.
They go running to get his car.
You want to know my favorite scene?
Yes, that was the other answer.
That's what I am now.
Yeah,
Get it?
Right. They all sit down, right, and then they're sitting there talking and everything else, and then just Pluto just sits down right next to him and starts eating, and they're all looking at him like, "What are you not supposed to see if you can guess what I am now?"
Don't get your hands too close to his mouth.
Tim Matheson.
Get it?
Tim Matheson, the actor.
Tim Matheson
what was the
played
character?
Eric Stratton.
Yeah.
Stratton.
Also,
that's what it was. I got it backwards.
He was also the voice of Johnny Quest.
Well, Tim Matheson was a lot of things. So anyway, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Tim Matheson is doing a lot of Hallmark Channel shows right now. He's in one called Virgin River where he plays a doctor, country doctor.
The thing about it is
which is ironic because Stratton became an OBGYN after the movie.
Stephen First played Kent Dorfman, who was the guy with the car.
It was Flounder.
Yeah, and he wound up in Babylon 5.
He's in a bunch of stuff too. Yeah, he's great.
He got spit on by a dinosaur.
Yeah, in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Tim Matheson is such a great actor. And he can play one evil, just absolute evil son of a bitch. Because he played Larry on Burn Notice, and every time Larry showed up, like
something bad happened.
No, he was always trying to get Michael to come over to his side and become a mercenary. Like, be a mercenary. You don't need these people at work. You know how much money you can make if you just kill people, right? Stop the goody two shoes. Everybody needs to live, and the bad guys need to face their punishments in jail. That's for the red, white, and blue. You don't work for them anymore. Come join me. Just trying to mold him to be like him. This really creepy father-son thing that he had going on, right? And just, it was in general weird, but what made it even creepier was just Tim Matheson's performance, where you wanted to like the guy even though he was the devil. You know what I mean? He's so evil. Oh, he's so good in that role. And he's in a bunch of stuff where he plays a bad guy, and he's really good.
Yeah. He was in Mel Brooks movie. What was the title? To Be or Not to Be?
He's in a Mel Brooks movie?
Yeah.
To Be or Not to Be? It's produced by Mel Brooks.
Well,
it stars Mel Brooks. It wasn't directed by Mel Brooks. It was directed by Alan Johnson.
Okay.
It also has Christopher Lloyd in it.
Yeah.
And Charles Durning.
I just saw something on Facebook. Somebody posted.
Oh, you
it
did?
It says PBS gets me sucked in on those pledge drives with the musical performances. Yeah. I think somebody bought some DVDs.
Yeah, that was my wife. Well, we were watching Dolly's 50 Years at the Grand Ole Opry before I came down here.
Okay, so all right. I wasn't going to snitch her out. I was just going to ask you.
No, well, we're already sustaining members, so yeah.
There goes $100 a week.
No, we're at the $12 a month level.
Oh, okay.
They're not inviting us to any premieres. Don't worry.
Oh,
but I do have a couple of friends that still work there, so.
Yeah, I forgot they moved away from Chattanooga State.
Oh yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm connected to a TV show that's trying to locate there, but they're kind of expensive. So but they've got some office and studio space to rent.
The Georgia PBS used to do Doctor Who marathons during the pledge drive, and then we had the folks that are in Atlanta Radio Theater Company were doing the manning phones and whatnot, because Bill Rich is one of the biggest Doctor Who fans in the entire United States.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and they just show up and do the thing and kind of cringe when an episode got interrupted so they could do the pledge drive, and then be really, really happy when it went back. But evidently Doctor Who stopped making money for Georgia Public Broadcasting and then got dropped. I'm not sure if it was because the BBC started asking for even more money for new series that hadn't already been shown. I mean, they were offering the Pertwee series and as much of Tom Baker as was available at the time, and they did Peter Davison's series and Colin Baker's series, and finally wound up showing Sylvester McCoy stuff, and then everything went on hiatus, and there wasn't any more for years and years.
If you have Pluto TV, Dan, they got a Doctor Who channel. Doctor Who all the time, 24/7, one channel.
I've got all of them. I've got everything from 1963 till Jodie's last episode here recently. I've even got some of the reconstructions and the things that were animated to make up for the missing episodes. Not all of those, but some of them.
Yeah.
But it's like 300 gigabytes of Doctor Who.
But
yes, I am an extreme fan. I'd always wanted to write an episode.
Well,
you can't do any worse than the ones that are writing them now.
Oh, I could do much better, but I don't think they could afford to do it.
No, so you're saying, Dan, if you started watching from the first episode, it'd take you till next year?
Easily. Depending on how many I watch per day.
Well, we're talking about watching, though. You don't sleep, you don't eat, you don't use the toilet. Just watching one right after another, nonstop, never sleeping.
It'd be about 800 hours. I'm just guessing now, but because all the new stuff has been close to an hour per episode, and it used to be 22 minutes per episode. So
800 hours, so
something like that.
800 hours would be 33 days.
Yeah. But I'm not putting a catheter in. I don't care how good the episode is.
This binge watching brought to you by Depends Undergarment.
Well, I was going no, this is brought to you by Podcatheter. a Witzman. What was it? What does Carl say? Is a Witzman Witzman
a Winco product?
Winco product. I don't know what he said. Winsco product, something like that. I suggested that he do Podcatheter 2.0. Fun times.
Oh, the jokes really just present themselves, but they're not suitable for public consumption. So sometimes I wish I could turn my brain off. Other times other people wish I could turn my brain off.
That's free advertisement for you, Carl. I won't even ask for a percentage.
Oh,
I have no idea what's going on in the game that's playing behind me. I just see Cleopatra doing like a little sexy dance.
looked like she's throwing energy blasts at somebody.
Well, she just threw a crystal ball and then Rick grabbed it and he's running through a house. I don't know. It's a weird game. It's the NES version of Splatterhouse that was made more kid friendly because it was on the NES.
Okay.
Very weird. Very, very weird game.
Yeah, Carl, podcast got mentioned.
I said that. Joe, were you not paying attention?
I was busy chasing
Carl-
the
Carl
Something.
just
What are you chasing? Well, stop chasing.
well, I was going to try to get some trivia in, but it's useless trivia that's not that great.
Hey,
Is it time to do another Rising Tide promo?
I think it might be. We've been on for an hour and 17 minutes.
You have to do one every hour, right?
Yeah, well, we should do one every hour. Yeah, Stupid O'Clock and Armchair Rocket Science are proud members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Grab you a screenshot real quick of what we got up here of all the shows we've got. The next show coming up for the big on the network would be Comics Chaos and Sass with Heather Ellen on her page at 10 p.m. on Facebook. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Never mind the furthermore at 10 a.m. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. is TED Talks, followed by Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m. Wednesday, well, we got already covered the Wednesdays. Thursdays at 11 a.m. is TED Talks. Comic Book Spectrum comes up at 7 p.m. Creative as Hell comes up at 8 p.m.
He
And
said
then-
it right.
Yeah.
Hey, first time for everything. Okay.
Dun, 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 da, 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 da.
throw in
And
a fit.
of course, Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m.
Dun,
then
dun.
Fridays is a busy day with Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles at 7 p.m. And at 8 p.m. is Nick Tockert's own Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. And then, of course, Saturday night is a Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m. Also, throwing out the wild card, Armchair Rocket Science is whenever there's a launch by NASA, SpaceX, Blue Origin, ULA, Northrop Grumman, Rocket Lab, or whatever. But right now, we've got a show scheduled at 8:15 tomorrow p.m. for a SpaceX launch. And then sometime Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, we will have a flight of SN10 from Boca Chica, Texas. There's actually a pool in Vegas now on whether they're going to stick the landing or not.
Ooh, what's it up to?
This will be the third belly flop try, right?
Yeah, third belly flop try, and go ahead and pull this down. It's a third belly flop try, and I think it's like 10-1 odds.
And
Oh,
I am
are you
telling
kidding me? Are Vegas
are-
odds makers?
Yeah, there's Vegas odd makers on it. You know, they bet on traffic light
Yeah.
changes in Vegas.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Does Armchair Rocket Science also support the Kosmiczewskie Programa SSSR,
What?
the Soviet space program?
They don't broadcast their launches live. They wait and make sure that it gets off the ground before they show you.
Yeah,
Pretty much
They
the
don't
only
like
thing.
promoting failure.
Well, the only thing they actually show a launch live is a crew launch.
because usually those don't blow up on the pad like everything else they do.
Yeah.
Hopefully not anymore.
Of course, Russia has announced their new rocket. Russia and China has announced new rockets and sketches and everything. Guess what they look like?
Suspiciously? They look
Suspiciously.
like a Falcon 9.
A Falcon 9.
And their new capsules look suspiciously like the Tesla capsule.
They only steal from the best.
Yep.
They only steal from what works.
Yeah. We've got to do something about China taking our intellectual properties.
Well, the best thing we need to do, the best way to stop it is stop having them build it.
Exactly.
When you got to mail blueprints,
oh,
it makes it easy for them to do the espionage.
All right, we got Lewis on a roll here.
To show you how ridiculous it has gotten. Okay? A couple of years ago, I was building a little stage, a little mock stage. Okay? And I needed some balsa wood. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I found the pieces of balsa wood that I needed. And there was a little label on each one of them that said made in China. We don't have wood here in the US. And was it really cheaper to harvest this little piece of balsa wood in China, mill it there, and then put it on a ship over to here, and then ship it from LA overland to Eastridge? Really?
Lewis, balsa wood grows in Ecuador.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a growing tree native to the
It
Americas.
doesn't grow in China. It grows in Ecuador.
That's what his sticker said. Now, I'll tell you something. If you look at any manhole cover, storm drain cover in Chattanooga, if you pull that lid off and flip it over, it says made in China.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Well, you
They
work
used to make them right here in Chattanooga.
You should know.
We buy it from a foundry here in Chattanooga. And I said, why do they come from China? He says, I'll be absolutely honest with you. I can buy 10 of them for China cheaper than I can make one in Chattanooga. You know, when you factor in his electric cost, the labor, the material, property tax.
Balsa wood is a member of the mallow family. It's native to southern Mexico and to southern Brazil, but can now be found in many other countries: Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Thailand, Solomon Islands. It is a pioneer plant which establishes itself in clearings and forest.
It's very lightweight and soft.
Did you say Taiwan?
It doesn't say why it comes out of China.
Yeah. You said Thailand.
Oh, Thailand.
Well, if it's from that area of the Pacific, then yeah, they can get a hold of it cheaper than buying it from South America and making the actual parts and shipping it over.
I just thought it was ridiculous that a 50-cent piece of balsa wood had to be shipped from China. I mean, really, 50 cents.
Balsa wood is the styrofoam of trees.
Yeah.
Now,
well, it's very lightweight. It's easy to cut with an X-Acto knife. I mean, that's why modelers use it.
Now, here, Lewis, you were actually working at the radio station at the time. Remember when they had all the trucks that were coming in and going back to the steel? It was dump trucks, and they left tracks on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They were buying. That was copper from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Copper ore, just dug out of the ground copper ore, loaded on the track, the dump trucks, hauled down here, put on barges, shipped to China to make copper.
Aren't the copper mines in Copper Hill, Tennessee, pretty much tailed out, and they've got to use
they're gone.
The leftovers?
Yeah, that's what they were buying, is the leftovers. The stuff that was tailings. They were buying the tailing. They were buying the tailings and can actually process the tailings to make copper in China. That's why copper prices plummeted 10 years ago.
And believe it or not, kudzu is the only thing that will grow on Copper Hill.
Yep.
Speaking of China,
And Japan.
I still say
That's the Chinese import that just keeps giving up.
Oh,
I
tell me
still
about
say
it.
we should give it to Russia. Oh,
I wonder if we could do that. Just figure out some way to sneak it into Russia and like plant it right outside Red Square or something.
And just airdrop it. All you need is a
Yeah,
single leaf.
airdrop the seeds, man.
Just one leaf. In 30 days, the entire.
Does it grow up north? Does anybody know? Does it grow in
No, I
Yankee
mean
territory?
you'd have to drop it into like.
Weather very well, but it will keep growing.
it'll grow fast in the summer. The colder
Hey.
it gets, the faster it grows in the summer.
You know that launch complex they've got where they launch all the rockets from? It's like out in the middle of this desert area.
Yeah.
Right. Drop it there. Just where did all this green stuff come from? You know,
No, don't do that because they'll just figure out a way to make a space elevator out of it. It's going to go to the moon anyway.
Oh, have y'all seen the video of the Proton rocket that filed up and crashed? It's been out for years.
That doesn't narrow it down very far.
No, this was
Russian rocket that crashed. Let me think
this,
about it.
I mean, this was the big, and the reason it crashed is because they put the sensor in upside down. But there's a video of it, and they're going. You can hear the guy. There's some American guys there talking, and it goes up, and one of them goes, "Oh, that's not going to be good. Oh, that's gonna be real bad. Hope it don't come this way." That's exactly what it is. Hope it don't come this way. You know, usually they would, flight termination system. They never hit the flight termination system. It impacted ground. Still,
Put that in upside down too.
Yeah.
It just hit the boosters. Oh.
But yeah. We found Lewis's button.
I'm just tired of buying stuff and it be made in China, even though it looks like it's a totally American product. My Blackstone griddle,
China.
made in China.
Yeah, Traeger used to make some really fine grills, and they're out west somewhere. But they basically sold out to China.
But I mean, okay, if I'm going to buy something where you make a massive amount of food on it at once, I'm thinking the Chinese have a good lead on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things you can't knock the Chinese for.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they really know how to make a lot of food.
Communism,
Nick.
communism won't work in the
Not a
United
problem.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah.
States. It might work in China.
You take care of Xander and yourself, Nick.
No, I've made fried rice on that griddle a couple of times already. I love it because you got all the different heat zones, so you can put the rice on the medium until it's done. You can cook the proteins all on the high end, and then just blend it all together. So I made breakfast on mine this morning, and then for dinner made Philly cheesesteaks.
Lewis, you might as well just go ahead and get one of them. What'd you call it? What'd somebody call it? The hog in the backyard? The hog tank, propane tank?
Yeah.
You come out cheaper.
Well, I would do that in a heartbeat because I want a gas range too.
Yeah.
I'm tired of cooking on that ceramic top. I can't use my cast iron on it.
You can, just gotta be real careful.
No, I've got one cast iron pot that's got an enamel bottom that I can use on it, but you can't. No, if you just slide it a little bit, it'll scratch that ceramic top, and there goes like $300. I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah,
but I really want a restaurant quality gas range.
There used to be over at Eastgate Town Center. there used to be a restaurant supply store that sold used restaurant equipment. They
Chef
cleaned
Mart.
themselves.
And Chef Mart had brand new stuff.
Yeah,
I
but
got
they
a
also
bunch
sold-
of restaurant pots and utensils from there.
Is that
And they
still
were
there, or did they close?
no, they closed last year.
Did they move
Yeah.
someplace else, or just close?
They just closed. I don't think they're open anywhere. I think I went to their website and it was gone.
Well, don't go to Restaurant Supply down on 11th Street.
Oh God, no.
Restaurant Supply. They're fairly decent. Civilly Sheet Metal.
Why would I go there?
They make the stuff, and
Oh,
they proud of it.
yeah.
You're not. You really got to worry when there's a Viper and a Lamborghini parked in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a Chattanooga Restaurant Supply on 11th and 11th Street and Park Avenue.
That's the one that's expensive. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking Joe was talking about.
Well, that's where we get a lot of our Halicon supply.
Yeah. Well, there's no place else in town.
Yep.
And then you've got THS Food Service. I don't know what they do.
Well, when I when I catered the State Guard Christmas dinner one year, I had to go to Chattanooga Restaurant Supply and pick up the multi-packs of salt and pepper shakers and stuff like that. And oh my God, it was cheaper and easier to go to Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do get a lot of stuff from Costco, but
Mm-hmm.
we go through a 5-gallon bucket of eggs in a week. Hard-boiled eggs.
I've been seeing at the grocery store, they've got bags of like 2 dozen hard-boiled eggs. And I don't normally see them. I just noticed it this week. Is that something for Easter I don't know about?
I don't know. Are they shell on or shell off?
Both, I think. If they were shell on, it makes sense that it was like Easter eggs.
Yeah.
But I think they were shell off.
Speaking of Easter eggs, I'm a naughty boy.
Went to the grocery store this morning early, right after it opened. Got there 7:30, which is kind of fun because there was nobody there.
Well, it's because it's only for old people. So because of your hair, they let you in.
But
I think you're
Sean,
old.
you usually have to wait on the staff to open the store. The crowbar is not a good way to get in.
No, I usually go in the afternoon actually. But I went this morning, and I got my corned beef, I got my cabbage, I got
Oh, so you're getting ready for St. Patty's Day, eh?
Oh yeah.
That's my wife's birthday. That was also my grandmother's birthday.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to end up doing for my birthday?
What?
Yeah, you know what I'm going to end up doing for my birthday?
Nothing.
What?
Working. It's on a Monday this year.
Yeah. Although now that LibertyCon's going to be virtual, I've now got an extra week's vacation that I'm not going to be using, so I probably get my birthday off this year.
So LibertyCon is going to be virtual.
Yes, LibertyCon is going to be virtual.
Everything rolls over till next year.
Next year, yep.
And I promise you, I got a feeling that this LibertyCon is going to be awesome this year. The virtual LibertyCon will be awesome.
I said it too to myself recently. I was like, I should go ahead and get a hotel room at Liberty. I should go ahead and pre-get the hotel room now, since it just announced that Liberty is going to be happening, and all this other stuff. And I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. They don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They need to wait on that. I need to wait on that. I bet you anything they're going to do it virtual this year. And sure enough, it happened. So
I've got to get to the hotel website and cancel my room reservation because we jumped on that as soon as they confirmed it. Oh, we're going to be live this year.
Yep.
And the worst part of it is all the anti-maskers are going, oh, yeah, we predicted this. It's going to be the death of LibertyCon. Yeah. Oh, right. I get so angry at these people.
Are you gonna get?
I was at Walmart in Fort O today. Half the people were not wearing a mask.
I wouldn't.
Oh,
know.
no,
just given up.
They've stopped. You know what a big part of the reason that I've seen a lot of people stop wearing masks for, and it's so rude and mean. It's the well, people are getting vaccinated nowadays, so we don't have to wear masks anymore because either A, I've already been vaccinated, or B, everybody's getting vaccinated, so I don't have to wear a mask.
Still too early.
Well, I've made it, and I've survived it, and I still wear a mask because I can still carry it.
You know,
So
why?
until we get 80% penetration on vaccinations, I'm still going to wear a mask.
And here's the other thing. You know why you wear a mask? You know why you're supposed to wear a mask?
To keep other people from getting sick, to keep your spit on your face.
Not even that. That's why we should wear masks. But do you know why you need to wear a mask? Or that's why we need to wear masks. But do you know why you should wear masks? That's what I'm trying to say. We know why you need to wear masks. We know why you should wear masks.
To be a decent human being?
Exactly. Don't be an a-hole. That's all we're asking. Just wear your masks. If everybody just wore their masks, like I know I don't have COVID-19. I know I don't have it. You know what? I'm still wearing a mask. When I get vaccinated, I'm going to continue to wear a mask. You know why? Because I don't want people looking at me being all like, oh, that's the guy that won't wear his mask. He's such a douche, which is a good thing. But also on top of that, B, because it's just they have a sign up that says masks are required, and I don't want to be a dick. It's all what it's all about. If you see, and I'm serious about this, I don't care what their excuse is. Because people have these weird excuses. I've never liked the excuses. Oh, I have asthma. I remember that one woman who she was walking up to the Walmart, the Fort Oglethorpe Walmart. She had on a big tie-dyed pot leaf T-shirt and a cigarette, right? And she flicks the cigarette, and the woman outside of the Walmart goes, "Excuse me, ma'am, you need to wear a mask." And she just interrupts her and goes, "I have asthma." What the fuck you do?
My answer would have been
smoke weed and cigarettes. You do not have asthma. But Joe, you and I are on the same wavelength with shit like that. We want to say something. We want to.
Yeah.
No, I remember the last time I worked in retail, and I did say something. The last time I worked in retail, this was years ago, this is pre-COVID, but I hated it when people would go to the express line with more than 5 items because I worked at Target and they had the express line. You have 5 items or less. People that can just grab one thing and get out. It was something nice that I thought Target did. I used it all the time. And you'd have people show up with a cart with like 40 items in it because they didn't want to wait in the regular line. They thought they were special. And I said something to them about it. And I got in trouble for it. These employees at Walmart, they don't want to get in trouble. They say one thing one time, excuse me, you need to have a mask. And if they come up with some excuse, whatever, just let them go. I don't want to deal with it because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get a write-up. I don't want to get fired. And I totally agree with that. Like, it's BS. The whole entire customer is right thing. You know what? The customer ain't right.
My wife sort of got in trouble. She was working for Bilo, and they put her on the express line. 10 items.
Yeah.
She rang up 10 items and says, that'll be so-and-so. Well, you didn't ring up this. 10 items, that's 10.
You got to go to the other one to get the rest of these.
All right. So let me get this up here.
Cesar Romero, what do you got over there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Joffrey Baratheon. At his wedding.
But Dan, what she did to one lady, the lady had like 40 items. So she was paying with her card. She says, you can pay for that and I'll ring up 10 more.
So she
All
had
right,
to come
Joe?
out with 10,
Yeah.
4 different
Can you
receipts.
pop me up?
Oh, yeah. I
That
saw that.
is the Fort
Yeah, I saw that
Oglethorpe
earlier.
Walmart. They now have
The floors look
four
real nice.
manned checkout lanes. 4. They used to have 32.
Yeah.
They got 4 now. All the rest are self-serve. And of the 4, 3 had cashiers. That's
Cigarette
what it's coming
aisle.
to. And you know
No.
what?
No, Joe.
By God,
no.
if I'm going to be a cashier at Walmart, I want my employee discount, damn it.
And that's the thing that Joe just said. No. The cigarettes are in a cabinet that's next to all of the self-checkouts. And if you want to buy cigarettes, you have to go up to the self-checkout. You have to hit a button that says, I want to purchase cigarettes, and then sit there and wait for somebody. And at one point I was waiting. I was at I don't remember which Walmart I was at. And I was waiting there for like 10 minutes or so. Nobody ever showed up. So I finally said something to one of the employees. I was like, I like to buy cigarettes. Oh, let me go get the manager. They have the key. And I waited another 10 minutes. That person came back and I said, where's the manager? I'm still waiting. I've been here for 20 minutes. And the girl goes, oh, I told her she didn't come over. And I said, put all this shit up. Fuck you. And I just left. It pissed me off so bad. That was one of 2 Walmarts that have in the past. They don't, like, these people don't care anymore. They just don't care anymore because everything's all self-checkout now.
Yep.
The South Pittsburgh Walmart, the thing that I was talking about on Brian K. Morris's show, the thing that made me so upset with them, right, was that I was trying to purchase an item on Walmart's website. It shows us $12.88. And I go up there and I ring it up and it comes up $19.99. I'm like, well, that's not right. And I turned and the woman said, because I turned around and looked and saw somebody working there. And I said, hey, come here for a second. She goes, what? I said, it's showing on your website ringing up as $12.88, but it's ringing up on the computer as $19.99. And I'm like, obviously I'd like to get it for the website price. I don't want to have to sit there and order it and then wait. I already have the item in my hand. And she goes, oh, okay, I'll go get a manager. So here comes this kid who he comes over, a young guy, way younger than me, probably just turned 21, and he comes over and he's like, what's the problem? And I said, I ring this up. It's ringing up as $19.99. It's showing on your website as $12.88. And I show him where it shows on the website it's $12.88. So he pulls out his cell phone, and I get that. I worked at Best Buy. We'd do the same exact thing. Pulls out his cell phone and looks up the item, and he types in the description of the item. All it was a Bluetooth adapter, an aux Bluetooth adapter for your car. And he types it in, and it comes up $19.99 on his phone. I said, okay, well, then it's showing up as $12.88 on mine. And I mean, it's the same item. I don't understand what's going on. And I thought at first, I was like, okay, so what he's going to do is he's going to say, all right, this is what should have happened. Because I worked at Best Buy, and this is the difference on how to treat a customer. What Walmart teaches their employees versus what Best Buy teaches theirs. At Best Buy, it would have been, oh, okay, these are obviously 2 different items. Let me find the item that you're looking for because it's showing us in stock. We'll go find it, and we'll get somebody to bring it for you. Or on the flip side, if Walmart doesn't want to go that far, at least what they could have done is said, hey, you actually have the wrong item. But this guy just goes, no, it says $19.99 right here. I said, okay, I'm showing it as $12.88. He goes, well, I don't know what to tell you because this is $19.99 right here. So you're wrong. And I said, what do you think this is? Do you think this is a photograph? And I started moving it up and down. I said, you think I photoshopped this? It's your website. I can hit the refresh button. And I did. I did hit the refresh button. I said, that says walmart.com. This is the link. I could text you the link to this item and it would show up on your phone. It would show up as $12.88 then. I'm not making this up. Are you seriously? And he was like, well, I said, "Are you calling me a liar?" He goes, "Oh, I didn't say that, sir." And I looked at him and I said, I rang it back up and I put my card in. I looked right at him. I said, "You see that extra $7? That's an asshole tax. Fuck you." Like, I was that mad at the dude. And which is probably what I shouldn't have done, because that's a Walmart I have to return to every single day because that's on my route. But I was that mad with the guy. Like, I couldn't believe that. Like, you could have just been nice. Like, you didn't have to be a jerk.
Nice isn't part of the training.
No, not at Walmart anymore. No, and part of it is that they're getting rid of all the registers. They don't want customer service there anymore. You know what, Joe? They finally did it. They went the Walter route because they figured that's what the customer wants. Welcome to Walmart. Get your crap and get out.
Get out.
Oh, shoot.
And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Sam Walton, you know what? You could stick a pole into Sam Walton's corpse right now and make him into a centrifuge and power this country, because that's how fast he's spinning in his grave over how bad Walmart has become. Because that used to be a company that cared about its customers, and now they don't care. They don't care. You could probably set something on fire in Walmart and they wouldn't care.
Oh,
I'm not suggesting
and get this: a Walmart neighborhood market that was on Shallowford Road is now being closed, which means that area is going to be a food desert again. Thank you very much, Walmart.
Why is that one closing? I was just
underperforming.
Underperforming.
I'm sorry, but
that area needs a grocery store. Otherwise, people are going to spend their food stamps at a convenience store, paying twice what it needs to be, and getting unhealthy food. Because when was the last time you saw fresh produce, meat, or anything decent at a convenience store?
How far away is that? That made me think about something funny. How far away is that? Where that neighborhood market is? Because I've only been there a few times.
The next nearest place is Food City on Shallowford and
Lee. Yeah, how far away is that?
About a mile and a half, I guess.
No, it's more like 4.
More. Oh, okay. It's too far to ride a bike or walk, and I don't know what bus service is available, but
I was just about to ask about buses.
Yeah, Chattanooga has main lines, but not very much on side roads.
Yeah. Athens doesn't have very good bus service except on the University of Georgia campus.
I was gonna. I know. See, that was the thing that I was gonna say too. Is that when we're talking about that the Walmart neighborhood market in the Food City, like, I would just imagine everybody would just go back to that Food City. But if it's that far away,
Mm-hmm.
Well, they stayed there long enough to close the Food City on Brainerd Road at Belvoir.
Yeah.
They pretty much put them out of business.
And that was
the next closest large grocery store to that area
would be the Super Center.
Yeah. There's an Aldi. There's an Aldi down there on
Lee Highway.
Lee Highway.
They ain't paying no quarter for no buggy.
Even though you get it back if you don't leave it by your car.
Yeah, there's a couple of small markets in the area. There's H&H Grocery, which is over there down Wilcox, Jordan Market, Menlo Park Neighborhood Grocery, and Tunnel Food Mart, which is a little bitty convenience store type grocery store.
Those are all those places that you walk in and the first thing you smell is rotten produce, though. Have you ever gone into one of those little neighborhood stores?
Yeah,
I used to.
that
They
was.
always reek of rotten produce.
What was it
Actually,
that? It was.
my family owned one down in Biloxi, and it always smelled like old seafood. So,
There was a great quote that they were talking about the fact that there was a guy who was complaining about the line to get into Whole Foods. There's a line to get into Whole Foods and a line to get out of Whole Foods. It's totally BS. And they were like, well, why don't you just go somewhere else? Why don't you go to a different grocery store? I mean, you live in New York. There's grocery stores all over the place. No, there are no grocery stores in New York. What you have is you have Whole Foods and then you have bodegas because, that's all they really have. And bodegas don't have a great selection of produce. Like bodegas have apples. Screw apples. That guy was funny. He used to be funny. He's not funny anymore, but he used to be funny.
I got in a lot of trouble for pointing out that the Aldi's in Athens usually is full of just rotten food, and there are so many people that just love it. They were just going, what? That's not every day, and I go, it's every damn time I walk in there.
Well,
everything is rotting on the shelves. It smells horrible.
You want to know how to?
You can take it home without it being brown before you get it into the parking lot.
Well, I was gonna say that I know somebody that works for Aldi's, or at least he did. I think he still does. As far as I know, he still does. And I know for a fact that if it's a good Aldi's, what they're supposed to do is they're literally supposed to rotate their stock like every day. Like they're not supposed to have anything on the floor. If you do see something that's messed up, you're supposed to go and tell an employee and they take care of it right away. Right? Because they want to have the freshest stuff out there. That's part of their whole entire business plan. Fresh stuff, cheap, because they get it that day. And they bring it in that morning and stuff like that. So they always have fresh stuff, and it's always super cheap because it's not loaded down with preservatives, and they get it from local growers and all this other stuff, right? But not every Aldi's is run off of that business plan. They're all supposed to be, but they're not. You get some Aldi's that are.
That's the thing. I have heard so much great stuff about other locations, and I'm going, well, it's just this one store. I'm only complaining about just this one store, not the entire chain.
If you really want to get them wound up in Aldi's, pull out your phone and take a picture of something. Lewis, you've heard that story, hadn't you?
Uh-huh.
You'll find yourself standing in the parking lot before you know what happened.
Now, to be fair, I did take a picture of something at Aldi's, and nobody said anything to me. But what I was taking,
I did too, but I didn't get caught.
What I was taking a picture of was something that was, I guess, more innocuous than what you were taking a picture of, Joe Dog. Because what I was taking a picture of was when they were selling camping chairs, like super cheap, like $3. I took a picture of it and sent it to my dad because he was needing new camping chairs, and he was like, "I'll be there in 20 minutes." Nobody said anything to me. I did it right in front of the cashier, so I was like, "Oh, hey," send that to my dad. But like, I can imagine that if you walked up to, a thing of rotting produce and was just like, click, they'd be like, excuse me, sir, get out.
No, there's horror stories of people just yep. Oh, well, Skunk, guess what?
Oh, I'm on it. I'm on it.
All right. Oh,
My outgoing signal may be crap, but my incoming is. I'm seeing all these things that I usually don't get to see.
you're running pretty good now, Dan. I don't know if StreamYard's not being as overloaded tonight or what.
Well, I have paid my phone bill.
That probably helped.
I pay my phone bill like the 15th of every month.
He's paid up. Turn his bandwidth back up.
Yeah, my landlord.
Those auto pay things too, so it's not like I got to write them a check. They just go, "Oh, you give me his money."
My landlord said that since I paid for the first month in full, right? Because I put the deposit down and I paid the first month in full, that my second month was going to be prorated. But I don't know how much that's going to be because they didn't tell me how much a prorate's going to be. So I'm waiting to find out. And I guess I have to wait till the first because it hasn't popped up on the website yet. So I guess I have to wait for the first to find out how much I'm going to owe my rent this upcoming month. But I hope it's the prorate. Because if it's the prorate, good. Because Joe hasn't moved in yet, and he still owes me. I actually calculated this up. How much Joe owes me currently? It's in my Google Docs. Hold on. Google.
Yeah, don't say it here.
We don't need to know that.
Hey.
That's definitely an after show bit of knowledge.
But no, I wasn't going to read out the numbers. I was going to read out the deposit, the first month's rent, the electric deposit, the water deposit, and then below that, because I put that's the gross debt, and then below that was he made one payment to me, so I put that in there. So I have the net debt, and I don't want that number to go up anymore.
Yeah.
I like Joe, but it's like, man, if I keep paying for everything, I'm going to be fucking broke.
Welcome to the real world.
Oh, yeah. And we'll go ahead and throw that up because we got a outro to play. Lewis, thanks for being here. Dan, Kyle, John, thank you for being part of the show.
Hey, thanks for having us, Joe. Every week we this is a highlight for me every week.
Well, and I know sometimes we leave out, and I don't thank everybody for being here, but I really appreciate you being here, and everybody that's tuned in, thank you for being here, and everybody that's watching on the replays. Don't forget, grab you a screenshot real quick of the schedule for the Rising Tide shows. And
tomorrow, Comics, Chaos, and Sass. This is going to be at 10 p.m.
At 10 p.m. And at 8:15, we'll be doing a SpaceX launch on the Armchair Rocket Science page. So watch for the notification.
Is that in the morning?
8:15 in the evening.
In the evening?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It'll be a wild card broadcast.
Yep, one of the wild card broadcasts.
Okay.
I like that. Huh?
And if you're not interested in watching rockets doing cool things, not part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, but my show is going to be on it tomorrow at 10 or at 8 p.m.
Did y'all not have a show last week?
No, we didn't. Audrey fell down and hurt themselves.
Oh,
they tore a tendon, and so
they're all right.
And I was in the middle of my move, so I didn't have a computer at the time because my computer was in a box.
All right, it's time to say good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.